Are you sure you really want to do this? Beth asked Eric for roughly the 500th time in the past month. As a longtime stranger to big cities, it was hard for Eric to believe that there was anywhere in New York City where she could have been heard without shouting. But this strange little tree-shaded court was somehow as quiet as a desert canyon miles outside of Los Angeles, and just about as hot. It was September, but there was no hint of fall in the air, and the leaves on the slender maples growing in their squares of earth allocated in the sidewalk were still green. Today was one of the shimmering hot days that persisted well into October here, and the stone of the buildings surrounding them seemed to hold and reflect back every degree of heat. The buildings also shut most of the traffic noise out, making a private oasis in the heart of the city. Beth and Corey, and their motorcycles cum Elvensteeds, were the only creatures on the street besides Eric. Eric looked up at the old apartment building that was going to be his home for the next year or so, and nodded. "I'm sure," he replied firmly. "Things couldn't go on the way they have been, and none of us wanted them to." Then he grinned. "Besides, you aren't going to be that far away by Underhill standards. And I'm a fully functional bard now, remember? I can come visit you anytime I want to, or anytime you guys are getting stir-crazy." Beth looked as if she might want to argue that point for a moment. Then, instead of saying anything, she just sighed. "You certainly aren't the same Eric Banyon anymore," she admitted. "You not only have feck, but you know what machine to buy your clues from," she said, grinning proudly. "And I brought my own roll of quarters to put in the machine," Eric shot back, grinning. Earlier this morning, the three of them had packed up the last of their stuff from the friend's place they'd been crashing at between fair weekends. The Sterling Forest Ren Fair ran every year from July to September at a site about an hour north of New York City. There was even a nexus there, Elfheim Everforest, the only one on the East Coast, tucked away in the state park that surrounded the fair site. The three of them had been working the fair together, just like old times. Only this time it was a farewell performance, and they'd all known it. It had added a certain sweetness to the music. But all good things must come to an end.